welcome back to another edition of Chats from the Blog Cabin. I'm joined today by my amazing new friend, Lisa Rigoni. Lisa is a mindset, health, life coach. That's a mouthful, Lisa.
It is. I got to narrow that down.
Yeah. But Lisa and I met through a challenge that Cammie Kennedy, another mindset coach who we have a kind of in common, did called Create, Believe, and Conquer. And we just got really close and we decided we were going to collaborate and come on together. So Lisa, thank you for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So I come from the public relations background, and I've been kind of doing that for a long time, writing, doing profiles on high achievers. And it's really fun because I feel like I'm coming full circle. And now you're interviewing me, and I feel like I'm a high achiever.
You are a high achiever.
Thank you. Thank you. So I've also been coaching people, fitness, helping them to get their bodies in shape. And that comes, you don't start with the body. For most people, it starts with the mind.
Yep.
So I've learned in watching my fitness clients that I really enjoy when the light bulb comes on and they go, oh, I can do this. I can do what you've asked me to do. I'm capable. So I've really come full circle in that. And Melissa, I was the girl who hated PE. And I hated working out. I hated all of that stuff. And then I married a guy who was in the kitchen industry, designing bathrooms and kitchens for people. And then I found out later that what he really wanted to do was be a teacher and a PE teacher of all things. So followed him a little bit in a journey that I didn't even know I was following as he got fit later in life a little bit. And then I started working out. I also made sure that I went in a neighboring town so that people couldn't see me in case I fell off the treadmill or dropped a weight on my head. True story, true story. It wasn't very far away from where we lived, but I didn't want people to see me in my workout clothes, none of that. So long story short on that, I ended up losing 40 pounds.
Wow.
And gaining insight into who I really was and changing. And instead of the girl who hates PE, people started coming to me at the gym and saying, wow, how are you doing that? How did you go from this to this? Because we kind of saw you as you started. And I changed the outside because I was able to change the inside first. And ended up signing several clients for coaching in the fitness health industry, and have just recently started doing life mindset coaching. I guess I've always been doing it because changing that mindset is part of how you get healthy. For me, it's being healthy from the inside out. And it's a natural segue, a natural transition to be a mindset and life coach.
Yeah, I guess it is honestly like if you're not together with your mind, and your body's not going to feel the same way.
They don't cooperate.
Not at all. So tell me a little bit about, there was a story that you actually posted in when Cammie was interviewing you and Powerful Potential Group, I believe, and was talking about this husband and wife that you kind of saved them. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's how they put it, that I saved their marriage. They're friends of mine, and I won't name names or anything, but she had called me and said, Lisa, can we meet? I just need to talk to somebody. And of course, so I met and talked, and I was blown away because she was talking about her marriage and how she was really upset, and she didn't know how to say it because I'm good friends with both of them. And she finally said, I think I'm leaving. I was literally blown away. And then a couple of days, so we talked through all of that, and I said, don't make any rash decisions. But mostly as a coach does, we're totally different than counselors and psychiatrists or psychologists. Coaches listen and then help people figure it out, and untangle kind of the thoughts that they have. So a couple days later, he calls me. And she'd asked me not to say anything to him, so I didn't. That's a confidence. And they do know that I share their story. That's okay with them. So he called me and said, Lise, we're having some trouble, and I would like to talk to you about it. I'm thinking, okay, that's weird that they're each calling me. And then I find out she's in the car with him.
Oh.
So they said they were both on board and had decided, Lise, will you come and talk to us? So I did. Melissa, I got to meet them in their living room, and I had her talk, and then he talked. I made a couple of observations. They talked, made a couple of recommendations to them. One of those was getting up in the morning, before you go to bed and before you start your day, pray together. Just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Just pray together. And not only did they start doing that and start talking and really listening to one another, they're still doing that. And they say that that's what saved their marriage. I didn't do it. I didn't save them. I gave them the tools, the resources that I thought would help them.
And I love how you said that, because a lot of people think that when you work with a mindset or life coach, that they're the ones that are creating the possibilities, and they're not. They're the ones that are giving you the mentality, like showing you the better
Absolutely.
person. And a lot of people don't give the people that are doing the hard work the credit for that. You know, I just ran into that situation myself where, you know, I've worked with Cammie for a while, and she's the one that's kind of got me out of my comfort zone, but
Yes.
I'm doing the hard work to do it. I could have easily just sat through and not done any of the challenges and basically just, you know, excuse my French, half-assed it and not really gotten anything out of it. But I chose to do that. So
absolutely. And you can't sit back. And I say this a lot in small groups I lead and with clients and things. You can't be, for example, looking for a job and even sit there and say, God, send me a job, but you haven't sent out any resumes.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't made any contacts. A person has to do their part too. You have to take action. And one of the things that I've learned is you have to take aligned action. It needs to meet with your values. It needs to meet with all of those other things that you have running through your head. And one of the things that for this couple was marriage was for life. And all of a sudden they were looking at, well, gosh, we're done. Now, it wasn't that fast. It was something that had been building over some years. And then there was just one thing that snapped in them, that clicked and said, no, we can't, we're not on the same page. Except really they were. They just needed to think about and not just hear each other talk or complain or whatever it could be. They needed to actually listen and hear what was being said in between the lines.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that working with a life set coach, it really helps when they make you think harder than what you want to think, because you're just hitting the surface. They make you go deeper into your like subconscious and things that happened to you when you were a child, and then rethinking and retraining your brain to think something differently.
I love that, retraining your brain. Absolutely. And it's not all positive. It's not all negative. I think so many people are afraid because they don't want to go deep. They don't want to rehash and bring things up. But sometimes that's what's necessary. And it's so that you can get over that hump and move forward, because there's so much on that other side.
There is so much on the other side. I mean, I just see it, well, just meeting with you when we did our Create, Believe, Conquer challenge and the Zoom calls, when there was 3 of us on that Zoom call besides Cammie, and just actually listening from each other's stories and knowing that, hey, I'm not alone in the way I'm thinking, because that same person thinks that, it validates it.
It does validate it. We're not alone. And you know, you're all the way in North Carolina. I'm in Springfield, Illinois, and I one of my life groups that I lead, I've got somebody from Alaska, somebody from Pennsylvania, from Texas, from Ohio, from all kinds of different places. And I think there are 15 of us in that small group. And everybody has some of the same situations. And sometimes you just need somebody to bounce it off of. And sometimes you need someone that you don't know. And oftentimes a coach can be that. And that's one of the other things. So far, the people that I have coached have been people that I have known, maybe not known really well, but I have to draw that line and say, we're friends, we're acquaintances, whatever. But in a coaching session, I'm your coach. So hope that, I don't like conflict. I don't want to cause problems. But as a coach, one of my responsibilities is to be real with you and to help you figure out what's real within you so that you can tackle it.
That's true. And it's so hard, though. It's so hard to actually get to underneath the superficial stuff.
It is. And it can be something different for everybody. It might be health for somebody who's blocked on losing weight or getting fit in their body. It might be somebody who has financial blocks like I've had. I don't deserve to make money. I don't deserve to have things like that. We do deserve what is better, and God has plans for us. And I think it's in some ways a slap in the face if we say, no, we're not worthy. No, we're not, because He knows that we are. And as you know, my life is very faith-based. And I take that to heart. I pray for my clients. It's just who I am. And that's how I'm going to coach. I'm going to coach real and from where I am. And the other thing about coaching, there's no judgment. There's no judgment. You come as you are. Even if it's broken, we go through breakdowns and breakthroughs, and some people are really broken. And it's not my job. It's not a coach's job to fix them, but it's a coach's job to help them understand where they are, where they can go, where they want to be, where those visions are for their life down the road, and to help them move into that kind of space.
Now, have you ever had anybody quit working with you because it wasn't aligned with what you were saying?
That's interesting. I have a client. This was when I was doing fitness coaching. And a young woman that I adored. She was 26 at the time, and I was her fitness coach. And at first we were doing everything, and she was doing exactly what I was recommending for her fitness-wise, and things were working for her. And then she started not following the regimen, following the plan that I had specifically laid out for her needs, her goals. And we stopped one night because she hadn't done the meal plan. She hadn't, and this is a little different than life and mindset coaching, but you still need to take the actions that you say you're going to take. And she didn't. And she, to this day, says that I fired her as a client. Because what I said was, if you're not going to take the action, and I'm writing programs for you, and I'm spending time on you because I think that's so important, then you might be wasting my time. But you're also wasting yours, and you're paying me to do this. And if you're paying me, then you're wasting your dollars. You're wasting your money if you're not willing to do the work. So we're still in contact, we're still friends. And she tells people, my coach fired me. And sometimes a coach and a person, they don't align. And I know Cammie's like this too. I'm not in it just to make money from people. So I'm not going to try to keep coaching someone where we don't fit. I'm going to take on clients who are willing to work. They want to make a difference. and I'm the person that is meant to connect with them.
I love that. It shows how ethical you are too, as far as you could have easily just kept taking her money and not let it, and just let her go on doing whatever she wanted to do.
No.
But that shows really your ethics behind it. And I love that.
Thank
not a lot
you.
of people are like that. A lot of people are like out for what they can get and the money they can get. So
the money's good. I mean, it's a good reward. It's a good system, but I'm not going to take your money if you're not getting anything out of it. And nor should you invest the time if you're not. I know what I told her was, if you're doing what I've asked you to do and you're seeing results, wonderful. If you're doing what I asked you to do and you're not seeing results, that's on me. But if you're not doing what I've asked you or suggested or recommended and you're not seeing results, that's on you.
Yeah, that is.
And it sounds kind of hard and tough, but yeah, there might be somebody else who needs that time and effort.
Okay, before we go on to another little section, because I'm going to change topics in just a second, I want to do my little sponsor promo for the beautiful flowers back here. And of course, you see my husband's creeping right there. I added him in there because I just think everybody should know that.
The flowers are gorgeous.
So here is the little promo from our sponsor.
Hey y'all, welcome to Summer Sunflower Fields at Odom Farming Company. We'd love for you to come visit with us. We're open Tuesday through Thursday and Sunday from 4 to 8 and Friday and Saturday from 4 to 9. $5 admission includes a visit with the pasture gang, the playground, the beautiful fields, and 3 flowers to carry home. So come see us at 1426 Claridge Nursery Road, Goldsboro. Check out our website, odomfarmingcompany.com, or follow us on social media. We sure hope to see you soon.
Okay, we're back. The flowers
are awesome. They are gorgeous. I even love the scenery that showed on the sponsorship. And if I lived close, I'd be visiting them.
Yep, and I wouldn't have you because I live like a couple miles down the road from there. So I would
walk there.
Well, not really. It's like 5 minutes drive. Not really walk because it's not the best. The highway is not the greatest right there. But if I could cut through the woods and through the river, I'd be right there because it'd be literally right through the river. I could go downstream or upstream and get there. It's quicker, but no.
Okay.
Now let's talk about your early morning devotions, which you've been starting to do for your clients.
Yeah. I have a coaching verse for my business, and it's 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as you have in fact been doing. That's what my coaching business is all about. It's about encouraging others toward a life of transformation and gratitude. And for me, that comes through faith in a lot of ways. So one of the things that I've started doing, it's called Devotions at Daybreak. And I set it so that it would be at 5:30 a.m. And that follows into my morning routine a little bit, so that I could share a word of scripture, a thoughts, just a word of encouragement each day. 3 days actually is what I've started with: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And I often am reading a devotion out of one of a little devotion books that I have. And then I'll comment on it a little bit and usually issue a challenge of some sort. And I'm posting it for anybody who wants to take part in that and to listen. And I'm getting some good responses and more people listening. And I really enjoy that. It helps start my day. And I do it because I hope that it also helps other people start their day.
Yeah, I'm not always up that early, but I do catch the replays.
I think I probably have more people on the replays than I do at that hour. And I have to admit that the last couple of them that I've done, I did not get up in time. So today was one of those days, but that's okay. Fortunately, there's grace. So
yeah, and you did it anyway. So,
and I did it anyway.
Said, I skipped the time, or the time's passed. I'm not going to do this today.
Yes.
You stuck to it and you did it anyways, which I applaud you for.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about, since you're a mindset coach, how you overcame some of your limiting beliefs to succeed.
We talked a little bit about my fitness stuff already and overcoming some of that and going to the gym and realizing that people saw me as someone who was achieving and making a difference. And then they wanted to get on board with me. When other people see you as somebody who's doing something and making a change, and then I think that helps your own mindset. Other people are looking to you as an expert or somebody with a skill or talent or a gift that could help them. And that's what I've been doing the last, I would say 3 months, 4 months. I had been in a place where my mindset was not as good as I had wanted it to be. And I say that with all truth and honesty. I wasn't getting up. I was sleeping too much. I had gained weight. I had, I was in a space where I was really comfortable with me and my own skin. And then over these last 2 to 3, 4 years, I got out of that, where I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I could blame all kinds of things. I fell and I hurt my hip, so I couldn't work out. I used that. I milked it probably for a little bit. I just came out of a wrist brace because I hurt my wrist. That has nothing to do with what you can do with your lower body or your brain. And somewhere in there, I hit menopause. And let me tell you, I blamed that a lot. That's not it. So in the last 3 to 4 months, I hired my own coach. I hired Cammie. And she has helped me have the appropriate breakdowns and breakthroughs. So my mindset, life is good. Is it perfect? And are we rolling in dough? And is my body in perfect shape? Heck no. I got things to do. I got work to do still. But I'm of the mindset now that I can do this, and I am doing it. It's huge. It's really huge. I started my morning routine. And it's not just the devotions that I'm doing, which are awesome. But now I have a fitness plan in place again. And I've been at this plateau, and I finally, because I'm doing and taking the aligned action, I have finally lost some pounds, and I've lost some inches, and my clothes are fitting better. And I don't care about the numbers on the scale so much. I care that I feel good about who I am, and that I'm leading by example. And even coaching now, there was a time I would never have said, I'm a life coach, I'm a mindset coach. How can I do that? Except I am that.
That is so awesome. I'm just in awe of seeing this change in you, because I met you, like I said, with the Create Believe Conference, the 5-day challenge that actually got me into doing these lives, because it was one of the challenges. She said, okay, go live. And who knew that it was going to be chats from the blog cabin later on. And like I posted in the group today, is I had someone on my vision board for my work that I wanted to share a stage with, and I booked her last night that she's going to come on my platform. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there is things about, setting your mind to your goals and working towards your goals.
And having a vision and not being afraid of it.
Yeah, because visions are everything. I mean,
there is.
Yeah. So how did you get to meet Cammie?
Wow. I was just looking back through old emails the other day. Cammie and I connected because we were both involved in a marketing program, was for fitness nutrition. And I met her in probably the first ever Facebook group that I was in. We both had jumped in on that. So I met her then. And then probably a year later, maybe, I got an email from her that she'd sent out to people asking for beta testers for a glutes gains program with a Z, I think was the name of it, for a fitness beta test. And that was when I was getting back into my fitness, well, not back into it, but into it as a trainer and going through my certifications and stuff. And then, so I did that. And then she started popping in again. And I decided to kind of, check it out. So this has probably been from 2014 till now. So she just kept creeping in. And then I finally said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to check it out. And I started with a 5-day free challenge, self-love perfectionist project, because let me say that I had paralyzed perfectionist written all over me. So that grabbed me. Perfectionist project. I needed that. So now I'm a recovering paralyzed perfectionist. And so now I've done, this is my 4th or 5th thing with her. I've done 90 days of coaching. I've done a couple of other programs and now in her academy too. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you feel like you're feeding into what you're going to be doing as your program? Because I know you're going to get certified through her as well. Am I correct?
I am. The Create, Believe, Conquer that we did together, she's now doing a certification for that so that other people can coach that. And I got personally so much out of it that absolutely I want to go out and use those resources and tools to coach other people. And I'm getting new clients and just things are good. And I absolutely believe that that's one of the things that I've gotten out of it, being able to partner with Cami on different levels. And partnership, I know you talk about values a lot, which is one of the things we've discovered and talked about in the different programs with her. And partnering in relationships is definitely one of mine.
Yeah, and relationships are so hard. I mean, it's like sometimes, you want the relationship, but I realize that you have to have a relationship with yourself before you can have the relationship with others, and that you can't let others' negative energy feed off of you. Because I'm very empathetic, and I tend to take on what everybody else's emotions are, which bring and drag me down. And then when I need to hey, splurt it out, there's not a lot of people there that are willing to listen back to the feedback that I've gotten, so it's hard.
Right. Yeah. If you do the Strength Finders test, empathy is literally my top one. So that can be both good and bad. It can be draining. So I understand that. But as a coach, it's wonderful because you literally can put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I guess not literally, figuratively, perhaps is a better term. But I feel what other people feel. And that's a gift in the area of coaching. But you also have to remember to let it go because you can't fix everything for people.
And you also got to remember to take time for self-care as well. Am I correct? As being a coach and even not as a coach.
Everybody needs self-care. And I think sometimes we forget, when somebody says self-care, especially for women, they immediately say, oh, well, we're going to go get our nails done or our hair done or something to that effect. I look at those things, yes, they can be self-care. I look at those more as rewards for taking action or doing things that are really important. Self-care to me is taking time for my prayer and my devotion. Self-care is making sure that I'm fueling my body with the appropriate foods, that I'm fueling it with a workout and doing those things that are really good for me from the inside out, not just the external.
And that is so true. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves before. It's like they say when there's a plane crash, you put the oxygen mask on first, and then you put the oxygen mask on your child.
Yes. And I use that analogy often because you can't serve if you're coming from a place of depletion.
So how do you, as a coach, kind of, because I know a lot of people are coming with you with stuff about, negative stuff that's happened in your past, and you already said you're empathetic and you're sympathetic. So how do you not take that on as a coach?
I think you have to be able to draw a line, and it's not easy, but you have to, my calendar, I have blocks of time for me, for my family, for work, because I do have outside work as well, and also have time blocked out for me for journaling is one of the ways that I can move forward and take myself out of other parts of the day. So you have to find your own thing. For me, it's journaling, it's praying, it's reading. Sometimes it's scrolling through Facebook. Sometimes you need mind-numbing stuff. watching a show on TV. So that's how I kind of disconnect from those kinds of things.
Honestly, a lot of things I've done lately is muting people that are triggers for me, like things that come out really bad. I just mute them. I don't unfollow, I don't unfriend, because honestly, that's like a 2-year-old if you unfriend. You mute them, and you just say, I can't, it's not serving me right now in the mindset that I'm in to see all this supposedly perfection when their life's not really perfect, but they're putting out that air that their life is perfect.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to mute them and kind of unfollow, not unfriend, but unfollow, so they're not coming up on your feed.
Right. And especially in this day, you have to be able to take care of yourself and your heart and your mind. And as you said earlier, sometimes you do have to disconnect from people. I've always heard that there are relationships that are there for a time, for a season, and for a reason. And I have found that, you always have those really close relationships that'll last a lifetime. And my best friend growing up since 3rd grade, we still connect. We don't connect as often because we live in separate states, but when we do connect, we just pick up where we left off. And I think that's also important as a coach or as whoever you are, whatever business area you're in, you have to also make sure you have those people around you who will lift you up, who will encourage you, who will hold your hand if you need it, who will lend a shoulder or an ear if you need to cry, if you need to yell, if you need to vent. A coach is someone who can be that person to a degree, but you also need those really close relationships and people in your life.
That is so true. And my hardest thing is trusting people with the relationship. Being able, am I going to be able to trust this person to not betray me? Am I going to be able to trust this person with my deepest, darkest secrets, and they won't just abandon me? Unfortunately, those that I've trusted some deep, darkest secrets have kind of abandoned me. So it's kind of like I have to kind of pick and choose who I need to be in my tribe right now. And I'm okay with maybe 5 very close friends than 1,000 acquaintances.
Right. It's interesting because I sometimes get grief because my personal Facebook page has thousands of people on it. Some of those are very, very close friends. A lot of them are people that I've met through networking in different organizations that I've belonged to. And I can tell you probably 97%, let's say 95 to 97%, why I know each person on there. It's not a lot of random people, and I'm getting requests for a little more of that, which is why I'm moving some of my stuff more to my coaching page than my personal page. But I want to reach those who are in my circle. The relationships, I mean, I can't stress enough how important that is. And there are people from different walks, different life seasons again. And I may have just totally missed a question because I just went rambling.
No, you're good. You're good. You are so good. This is what I wanted. I will tell you guys, Lisa was kind of scared about coming on because she was afraid of the questions, because I don't send out a set of questions. It's kind of more of a conversation because I want it to be authentic. If there's anything that you ever knew about me, is I'm very authentic.
Yes.
Be vulnerable. I'll be vulnerable. I'll come on sometimes without makeup, like I did during Father's Day weekend. I came on and say, hey, this is what I'm, a hot mess express, but this is how I feel. This is how I'm showing up today. So that way everybody knows they're not alone. And that's my biggest thing, is to make sure that everybody knows they're not alone, that there is somebody out there dealing with the exact same thing they're dealing with.
That's right. It's funny, because I am a writer and I do interviews with people, have for years and years, from my PR background, from my writing background. And I was thinking about that earlier today. I never give anybody questions ahead of time. Never, because I want that spontaneity. I want that spontaneity, and I want the authentic answers about who you are, what you are, where you're going, those kinds of things. And I've been like that for 30 some odd years. 40 some odd years in doing that part of my life. So that just shows that little bit of paralyzed perfectionist that comes in when you say, yeah, there are no questions. Why would I even expect that? I would never. I don't share them with people that I interview. Why would I expect you to do that?
And it's funny,
so I love it.
I'm the only one that says that. A lot of people say that. A lot of people are asking for the questions, and I'm like, nope, I just send talking points, and that's kind of what we're going to hit. But if we hit anything else, it's like, it's a chat. It's a conversation. That's why it's called Chats from the Blog Cabin.
And I love it. And I do appreciate you having me on today too.
And Lisa and I are going to work somehow together somewhere. We're going to figure out some way that we can collaborate together and do something. Because, I mean, honestly, I just feed off her energy. I just love her energy.
Thank you.
She was one other person in our group, Alyssa, and we kind of all just kind of meshed together and kind of encouraged and supported each other. And, when someone that's from a different state, well, Alyssa's not from a different state. She is actually from North Carolina as well. But, we don't really know in person. Sometimes those are the best people to have, because they're outside of the situation, so they can get a different perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. And again, my small group, it's amazing. And that's one of the things that we talked about Sunday night was, how can you have 15 people, 15 women on a call from so many different places? I think we represent 13 or 14 different states with 15 to 16 women. And everybody's going through the same kind of stuff. And that's where I think we all connected, the three of us, with Cammie, because we had and we're in different businesses, each of the three of us. Really, but we had some of the same internal situations and have been able to partner. And Alyssa and I are friends and connect on different levels. And then you and I have talked about partnering on different things. The one thing that with the three of us, relationship was one of our values, each and every one of us, in different levels, different ways. But I think that's key. And I think, I don't know, I agree with you. People shouldn't be alone. They shouldn't feel like they are alone.
I just had a rooster. I think a rooster got out in my backyard.
Hey, is it 5 a.m. again?
I'm like, what the heck? Our neighbor 2 houses down has roosters. And I'm like, what the heck? He's like right by my window.
I thought maybe we talked that long. Wow.
It's time for your early morning devotions.
Again? I just did them. That's so fun.
Anything else that you want to share before we sign off?
I just appreciate you doing what you're doing and your authenticity. I really do, Melissa. It's been so fun to watch you go from, I don't know about talking in front of people, I don't know about doing this, to, oh, wait, one Facebook Live? Heck no, I'm going to do 3 or 4 in a week. And now you've come to be realistic also, because sometimes we can wear ourselves down by the actions that we take. So you're doing two a week?
Yeah,
Is that right?
With a special edition, I'm doing 3 because
Yeah.
I'm going to have one of my daughter's friends. She has a son that was born with CHD, it's a congenital heart defect. And she's going to talk about the importance of wearing masks during COVID, because that is a topic that a lot of people are so controversial about. And I think if people see the face behind this cute little boy's face and realize what a danger they're going to be if they don't wear a mask out, that maybe that might make a difference. Who knows?
And that's the key right there. 3 words: make a difference. I know that's what you want to do. I know that's what I want to do. And if people are interested in talking to me and coming on board to coach with me, I'd love that. But I just want to do that. I want to keep encouraging and keep making a difference.
And I do want to give you credit on the women's panel. You didn't see Lisa. Lisa was in the background. She was like my executive producer in the background. Because we had one participant on the women's panel on race that was deaf, and Lisa was actually kind of feeding her the questions and helping me out in the background. And I really want to give you credit. I forgot to give you credit that day on it, but I definitely want to give you credit for that.
I didn't do it for credit, but thank you.
I'll do it. And then you actually tuned into the next one when I did the one on men's race, and you just kept commenting, and you and Cammie both were just like my biggest cheerleaders during that. Because that was me stepping outside of my comfort zone, big time on those issues.
You did, but they were wonderful, and current topics, current events, and you lead them well. You let people talk, and then you interject the appropriate questions to keep the conversation flowing, and that's a gift.
And just like I've been planning on doing a panel with women that are in biracial relationships, but nobody's schedules are aligning. So instead, I'm like, you know what? Instead of doing the panel, I'm just going to have you guys each come on individually. So I have a woman from Nigeria whose husband's Vietnamese. They're coming on soon. And she's actually was the one that suggested, hey, my husband's going to be home during the time we do our live. And since you're talking about relationships, can he come on with us? I said, absolutely. Because I just love their whole dynamic. They're super funny. They have their own YouTube channel. So I'm just like super excited about that. I'm going to get them.
I know, that's hilarious. I'm friends with a biracial couple here. So if you need somebody else, they're beautiful people.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever get my husband into doing on lives. And I tried to get my daughter because she's Mexican American, and my daughter is married to a guy who is, 75% Japanese, 50% Japanese, 1/4 German, and 1/4 white. And he was raised by Puerto Rican step parents. So that whole she said by the time she gets ready,
awesome.
She will have you won't even know what race the kids are by the time her kids have kids. They won't.
And because it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
People are people.
Okay, one last thing. Tell me what's one unusual thing about yourself.
Gosh, I'm so transparent. One unusual thing about myself. I don't know if it's unusual, but I do sing. And I was planning to go. I always say when I was in high school, I was never getting married. I was never having kids, and I was going to Broadway. Instead, I have been married twice to Michael. We just celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary. We have 3 kids. 2 came as package deal, and he's always had custody. So, they're all grown now. And then we had Christian together. And so I have 3 kids, 3 grandchildren, 1 from each of our kids. And I've still not been to New York, but I have sang on praise teams all these years. So you just never know what the plan is.
But you're going to manifest that New York trip, right?
What did you say?
You're going to manifest that New York trip.
Yes, I am going to manifest that New York trip. And it was really fun because, one of the positives from COVID is Hamilton just played on Disney Plus, and my husband, who really doesn't do musicals, and I sat and watched it, and we both loved it. So maybe that'll help get him to want to go to New York sometime, because I do want to see a Broadway musical.
I've only seen one Broadway show, and that was Phantom of the Opera, and it was so amazing. I just loved it.
Yep. And I've seen some stage performances, but not in New York. And I've done things on the stage, on the platform of church. And then I was also Sophia, one of the nuns in Sound of Music here at our outdoor theater. Yes.
So I won't ask you to sing right now because I won't put you on the spot. Unless you want to.
No, we're good.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.